guys, it's me Dan, welcome to the benchmark. You find me inside Phil's gorgeous F80? F80 M3, and oh boy, what a stunner. He's got the perfect spec, white. He's got the 666 wheels that come with the competition pack, which are glorious. If you haven't already seen it, we've dynoed and performance tested this car. Click up. Now let's think about this for a second. What would be your right? I think up here. There you go, right up there. Okay, click on that and see what this bad boy can do. I can tell you now, it makes more than what BMW claim. This is a lovely car, Phil. It really is. And it's so weird to be in my car, but with all the yummy bits. Yeah. You've got carbon fibre trim, which I wish I had. These wonderful super sport seats, which I'll try and cut in a fancy way with the holes in. I can't really feel them.
You can't feel the holes at all.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
There's a bit of air to it. Wrong way.
I think, yeah, we're supposed to go that
wrong way.
Roundabouts are great in this thing. So, initial impressions from being in the car. Now, as you know, I have a 35D, which is the diesel weird cousin of this. This is a completely different car. Sitting in, if you blindfolded me, I've said this before about the Alpina, I wouldn't think it's the same car. It's much firmer, it's more sure-footed. It certainly feels like it's hit the gym and it's just come out and it's all hinched up, you know, its shoulders out. And it makes a nice noise as well. Now, I find that interesting because the old M3 and M4, I didn't like the sound of those, and this doesn't sound the same. So this is an open question to you guys online. Did they change the exhaust?
See what everybody says, won't we?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a comment. As I say, everything in here is carbon fibre. Got extra little stitching in places, different gear stick. It's a dual clutch transmission. Is it 7-speed?
7-speed, yeah.
Okay, so 7-speed gearbox. Now some people go, oh, that's one less than a ZF8. Yeah, but it's not really the same thing. This is a dual clutch, so it's got that thud. You can actually feel it. When Phil pulls away, I can feel it kind of just like the clutch grips straight away. There's no slip. Yeah, it's not an automatic, which is nice. People commented saying that it's got too much going on, and now I disagree. It's actually a lot classier than I thought it would be. There's no more M badges stuck around in here than there is in a silly M Sport 318. It's actually quite understated, which is nice. The paddles in your car are nicer, bigger. Are they pretty quick as well? Are they responsive?
Yeah, they are very responsive. Very responsive. So to drop it down, it doesn't even hesitate to think, oh, you've gone down 2 gears. It will just eat the 2 gears and then go.
And the SMG does that, but it does it in a way, in the E46, in a way that hurts. And you feel guilty every time you do it because it's so aggressive. So yeah, just to confirm for you guys, this car's completely factory standard. Nothing's been done to it other than some cute little toys in the corner here. And my 100 kilos of handsome weight. It's a standard car. And
why you'd want to change it, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I don't think you'd need to do much. It's certainly got the power. You must struggle in the wet, right?
The wet, it does get scary. It does get very scary. The back end sort of lifts. You just put your foot down to the slightest and the back end just goes. It is like playing with fire when it rains.
Like an M car should.
Like an M car should, exactly.
I get a lot of joy out of having a car that tries to kill me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It kind of wakes you up in the morning. It excites you. Do you commute in this? Do you use it as your daily driver?
Yeah, I use it as my daily driver. It's too much fun to have, really. I mean, I'll show you the gears now. I'll drop it down to quite quickly and then we'll just go.
I prefer this to the M4. I mean, I've said this before, I'm sorry guys, I don't like 4 Series because it's a massive car, only it's compromised. It's the same size as a 3 Series, only you don't have those doors in the back, and I don't really like the shape that much. I like the 3 Series shape. It looks like a BMW, like a traditional BMW, It's comfortable, it's convenient. You can, I mean, I just went in the back myself to fiddle around the camera, and there's tons of space. And you're a tall guy. How tall are you?
6'3".
6'3", and I was behind his seat, no problem at all. I could sit in here all day long. I had my expectations low for this, so I'm really pleased. This impressed me, especially when we hit the dyno. I knew they underrated them, but I didn't know, you know, that's a fair chunk, especially the torque. And no lag. And it revs to 7,500, and that's interesting because most turbo cars, they don't rev that much. Most of them, you know, by 6,000, that's it, it's game over. Everything else is just a waste of time. The M division have managed to make a turbocharged 6-cylinder car. It goes to 7.5, and it does go to 7.5. You don't need to. It makes peak at about 7, but you can go the extra 500 RPM, and it's happy to do it, and it will continue to make the power. Now, supposedly this has got artificial.
It's supposed to have artificial exhaust noise, but I don't ever notice it.
I haven't noticed it. I'm quite sensitive to that. And my diesel car, I knew straight away. Oh God, you know, so fake. But again, this might be because this is the facelift. This is the compact. This is M Division fixing the mistakes they made of the original release. If you've watched videos, if you've seen reviews on the M3 and the M4 2 years ago, it wasn't praised as universally as any of the older models, and that was because of a couple of reasons: the steering, suspension setup, the noise. I believe the noise was part of it as well. It was still a popular car, but it wasn't as, you know, it wasn't 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 like they used to be. But this is their correction, and yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. Did you test drive any of the others, or have you only ever driven this one?
I've only ever driven this one.
Okay.
I haven't test driven anything else, just this.
And I bet you test drove it and bought it just straight away, right?
Within 24 hours. Yeah, I bought it within 24 hours. The payment was down, and then a couple of weeks later it was mine. So.
Reviness like an M car should.
Yeah.
It's got that punchiness that we expect in this time, you know, in these days.
Yeah. That's with this type of car.
It's a flexible car. Okay. I'm in a competition pack M3. Thank you very much, Phil. This is very kind of you.
Sorry.
I'm really looking forward to this.
So you've got M1.
M1.
Comfort mode for everything, basically.
Okay.
M2.
Yep.
Hooligan mode.
Oh, so you programmed that yourself?
Yeah. So that's everything.
I did it on the Audi. I had like a button that I did that.
That's everything off.
Yeah.
So super sports, steering is really heavy, suspension's stiff,
okay.
no traction control. There's no drive range on that one.
Okay.
And then after that, you've just got the buttons down the side here.
Okay, but M1 is the.
M1's just comfort mode, and
M1
like
it is
like a 3 Series basically.
Oh, it's so weird. The transmission is completely different. In a good way. Is it automatic?
Yeah.
Okay, good. The steering is nice. Now that's interesting, because it's electric, and I have a real bee in my bonnet about electric steering, and this is good electric steering. So instantly I can tell you guys the steering this is regular mode.
Regular mode, yeah.
It's a lot firmer, in a good way. Interestingly, I can feel things on the road almost as if it's hydraulic, which Alpina managed to do. So I wonder if the guys at Alpina and the guys at M Division had a beer together one day and said, "Hey, Alpina, how did you do that on your B3?" And they told them, because it's eerily similar, and that's a very good thing, because the steering is wonderful on the Alpina. It's very smooth, very smooth. Smoother than my diesel.
Yeah?
Yeah, very, very smooth. and it's hard to tell it's turbocharged while just driving around at the moment. It's the throttle mapping is discomfort, right?
Yeah.
It's nice. I tend to find in the sport modes that they're a bit artificial. You know, they give you more than you ask when you put your foot down. Some people like that. I don't. I'm an old school guy. If you gave me a motorbike, I want carburetors. You know, that's me. I mean, comfort-wise, you do sacrifice a fair chunk. So if you're looking for something that's smooth, and no, not the car for you, obviously. But then you wouldn't buy an M3 for that, would you? That's you're barking at the wrong tree.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't be looking at an M3 if you wanted comfort.
No.
On the road anyway.
But despite that, but you just wouldn't think this was turbocharged. You just wouldn't. That was so linear. I need to get an old M3 now. The pre-facelift. Because they've done something. They've changed a lot more than what you realise. And it's quite funny because half the time when they make a facelift of a car, they bullshit. You know, they always say they change stuff and it's exactly the bloody same. But in this case, they kind of kept quiet. It's as if they didn't want to admit they made some mistakes. I can't say that because BMW will start hating me again.
And you don't want that.
No. It's nice to be in the petrol. It actually kind of gave me a reminder of my E46 there. I actually felt, for just a split second, I thought it was in my old M3. Just that little mid-range bit. It was very similar. It was smooth. Only with a bit more torque. Yeah. Turbo. See what I mean about that?
I don't like it either.
Thank you. Okay. It's got plenty of power, doesn't it? It's got the right amount. How do you find? See, people harp on about the iDrive. It is iDrive, isn't it?
It is iDrive.
And they say it's like the best. And I preferred Audi.
I liked Audis. Audis was nice and easy to
navigate.
navigate.
I found that too. Okay, so I'm not going mad.
No.
Good.
Being a previous Audi owner, it was much easier to use, much easier to navigate.
So you're the only person I've met that's agreed with me on that. You ask anyone else to go, oh yeah, the iDrive's amazing, and I was really upset because I've got the base system, the new base system. Mm-hmm. So you know, it's a 2017 model.
Yep.
And it's okay. It's all right. And then when I had the Alpina, it had every option, and that was advanced with all the just like yours. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought it'd be more, and it wasn't. And I just found the Audi. I didn't need to look at anything. I could just and it was done.
Yeah, you could sense where it all was and things. This I've got to look at, got to try and memorise where everything is.
Yeah.
It's just
even
it's more difficult to use.
You have the volume down here as well, and I could skip the tracks.
Yep.
Without looking. Whereas if I want to skip a track on my, if I sync something via Bluetooth, I have to go touch this.
Yep.
There's nothing on the steering wheel.
No.
Yeah.
Which makes it a bit.
Well, it's a driver's car. You don't buy it for the audio, so I'll let him off. I really like this Phil. It's a lovely car. I can see why you instantly bought it because it's very confident. I said that when I was in the passenger seat, but it is when you're driving it, you feel confident as well. I know that I could push it and it will hold.
But this will definitely hold.
Yeah,
it will definitely hold.
And it behaves. It just behaves. It's not vicious unless you ask it. Like I just did there. And it wasn't too much. It was exactly what I requested. That's nice. I actually feel like I'm one with the machine, which is what an M3 is supposed to be. When I get into my E46, I feel like I'm one with that car. And it's one of the few cars I've ever driven that has that. And this kind of replicates it. It's not quite as organic, but it's close.
It's close. Yeah,
and for a modern car, that's impressive. You know, they're fighting the men in Brussels and the polar bears and the, you know, they have to compromise in order to give us this, and they've actually done it. It's a good car. So she's a keeper.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
No, I don't think. And you got the perfect colour, perfect split. You got those wheels. Those wheels are gorgeous. Nightmare to keep clean, but I mean, still, just to look at. I mean, it's a work of art. And I still think that the M3 looks better than the M4. You put it next to each other, and there's just something about the M3. It looks more muscular. There's something about those rear arches, the rear quarters. They're different. I don't know. I mean, everyone's got different tastes, and you seem to find a lot more M4s than M3s. And that was the same in the previous generation. You remember the E90?
Yep.
You'd always see the coupe, and I thought that was an ugly car. And when I see the 5-door, 4-door, I think it's a handsome car. Again, the same with this. I don't know, am I getting old?
Probably.
It's a shame we have to leave Mexico. But impressive times. Are you happy with that?
I am, yeah. Very happy.
No, I would be too. That is. I can't say in this because for the other episode, but that number to 100 is a significant performance benchmark of a fast car.
Okay.
Yeah, if you hit 100 in that time frame, and considering we have 3/4 full fuel tank, one very tall, one very large, guys, all the equipment, you know, run flats, because we're on run flat tyres. That's ridiculous. It would be way under. There's like half a second, 3/4 of a second there to be saved. It's a cracking car.
I'll just stick with the kids in the back and that's fine.
And it's perfect for that.
Exactly.
I mean, as a kid, I used to fit in the back of a 911 up to the age of about 6. But this, you know, like I said earlier, you're 6'3", and I can sit behind you. This makes all the right noises, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So is there a naughty exhaust mode? Or does that have to be in another...
No. So you can change it to that one.
But that's just Sport Plus everything?
No, that's just Sport Plus on the throttle response. So you can customise it so that you've currently got your steering still in comfort, the suspension still in comfort, but the throttle response is now Sport Plus. Okay. So if you listen, you've got no throttle at all, or no exhaust note at all.
Yep.
And then, now put your foot down a bit. It's a bit more,
I can hear
grunty.
A bit of a burble.
And then Sport Plus, that's when you get your overrun.
Okay, but there's no separate exhaust mode.
No.
Damn you, Porsche! You're the only ones that seem to do it, and Jaguar.
No.
Sorry, Americans got Jaguar. It's actually quite cool, but no, that's not how you pronounce it, guys. It's Jaguar. I know, I'm British. I do like those. You've been in F-Type, they're a cracking car as well.
Yeah, I've sat in a few of them.
Do you like those?
I like the look of them as well. I do like the look of them.
But not practical.
Nope.
So that's the problem. But then they do make no, I'm not going to go there because it doesn't compare. And I don't want to offend Jaguar because I really want them to give me an F-Type, please, thank you. I'm happy with the V6, even though it's only got, 300 horsepower. The noise it makes.
Still makes it sound like it's a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed on Jaguar lending you one.
Yeah, please. I want to buy one. I'm just curious, can I put it into the most aggressive suspension mode?
Yep. That one.
It's basically fully loaded, except for a sunroof. But then you got a carbon roof.
Carbon roof. Yeah.
CSL. That's so cool. All right, so we're in standard kind of British roads. It's not too bad. I haven't hit anything too bad yet. It is stiffer, but it's not too bad. It feels like a set of coilovers. That's pretty cool, really. So you just press a button and there you go. You don't need coilovers. There's your coilovers.
Exactly.
Expensive option, though. Do you remember how much it costs? It's like 1,500 quid, isn't it, for adaptive? Some cars need it. I know the 1 Series needs it, but maybe this needs it too, because the suspension is completely different to a standard M3.
Yeah.
So that might just be stiff all the time.
Could be.
so I can't help there, guys, when it comes to reviewing that. But then again, if you're looking at buying one of these and you're buying one used, it's probably fully loaded anyway, and if you're buying one new, you're rich enough to fully load it anyway either, so fully load it.
Exactly.
Carbon roof though is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So it shaves a couple of kilos.
Yes, every little helps. I could do a shaving a few kilos.
It's been a good day, thank you.
Oh, I'm glad you had a bit of fun. It's nice to see what they can do, right? It's that's the thing, you never really get the chance to see the numbers, and I'm quite lucky that I know the people that I do that allow me to use their stuff. Until you're close to Wales, you can go say hi to Chris Harris.
Or Richard Hammond, should we say his name?
Is Richard Hammond up there?
He lives in Wales, doesn't he now?
Oh, does he? I thought he was up north.
Yeah, he used to be Gloucester. Used to live in Gloucestershire, and now he's over in Wales somewhere.
It's because the roads are so good. If you're a petrol head, it does grumble. It's got a nice sound to it. They've definitely done something to the exhaust on the facelift.
I'm sure you'll do your research tonight and find out.
Yeah, I will. I'm a nerd. You won't need to change it. Some people, they put like the army tricks and all the other. No, why? It sounds pretty epic. And why do you want to tell everyone how fast you're going?
Exactly.
So that's what I like about my diesel, is that I can drive like an angel, and no one knows.
Drive up to the speed limit, is what you're saying, isn't it? Yeah,
I can drive very briskly up to the speed limit and nobody has a clue. I like the way it holds onto the gear for you, just in case you want to give it another prod.
Yeah. That's the advantage of having Sports Plus mode.
Oh, so what is it now?
Yeah.
That's nice, because most of the time it'll change up and you're like, oh bugger, I wanted another
bit more of a blip out.
A little bit more. Oh, there's a gap, and then it holds on to that extra little second that gives you that chance.
Has your 335 got the heads-up display?
No. Oh, I've just realised. I've got
sunglasses on, so you won't see it.
No, but not only that, they're polarised.
Okay.
So you actually, that's invisible to me. And oh, hello. I didn't know the Alpina I had heads-up display either, because I had polarised sunglasses on. That's pretty cool. That's a good extra actually, because the I had an American car, I forget which one it was, when I was in the States, and it had a HUD, and this is we're going back years. And I was like, wow, that's really clever, because you don't take your eyes off the road. When are they going to do it here? And, they do. I'm just an idiot and cheap, and I haven't optioned it. See what you're doing. So this is Sport Plus, and the throttle response is still quite nice. It's not over-delivering, it's not overcompensating. No. A lot of cars do that. That really gets on my TITS, because then you ask for more and there is no more, because it's already given it to you. This doesn't, it does have more all the time, way more than you'll ever need. Well, that was pretty epic. Phil, this is a beautiful car. It really is. Let me take my sunglasses off. More sincere. There you go. I did need them. It was very sunny in Mexico, especially. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. I'm going to feel really poor getting into my car because I have no options. And not only is this an M3, you've got every option in toy there is. And the only thing you're missing is a sunroof. But who the hell wants a sunroof? I mean, I just
don't need one.
If you go convertible or not at all, but then again, if you buy an M car, don't get a convertible. I never understood that. You're compromising a sports car. So I guess if you live in the south of France or something like that, I kind of get it, but not if you live in Luton. But not that we do. But okay, nothing wrong with Luton, by the way. I'm just saying, if you live in England. This is a cracking car. You've done well. You got it for a good price. You got it fully loaded. I mean, even little things like a little stitching. I'm going to get some more little shots of the inside. I think I haven't done enough justice to this. It's nice. Well, if mine is 42 with no options, and this is, can you remember what it was? Is it 58 no options?
58 no options, yeah.
So 16k between them. Spend the 16k.
worth doing.
Spend the 16k, yeah, seriously. Everything you heard negative about the older M3 and M4, the first batch that came out, the comp pack fixes it. It is completely different. It's really weird. In the comments, please tell me, what have they changed? I'm going to look anyway, but still, please tell me. I would like to hear. It's amazing what they've done. They've improved it in the right way. Steering is nicer. It doesn't snatch. Our throttle response is bang on. The gearbox is as good as Volkswagen and Audi's, who make the best double clutch.
Yeah.
It's right up there. And I know for a fact that it never used to be. So obviously there's been some changes to the gearbox. It sounds good. It's subtle. It's not in your face. Seriously, if you've got, what, you can get this for 40-ish thousand used. I think that's for 40k. Yeah, it's got enough power. Family fits in it. The boot's great.
Yeah,
this is a good car.
Ticks most boxes.
Ticks almost every box, doesn't it? The traction control on this is pretty good too. It allows a little bit of a slip, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a little bit of play. But
a little bit
enough.
of play, yeah. So when I was putting up a roundabout and being a bit silly, and I maybe put my foot down a little bit too much, there's a little bit of a sway, but cracking car. Phil, let me shake your hand on camera. Thank you very much for coming down. I'm glad you were happy with the results you got. I'm impressed. This is a cracking car. And roll on the Alpina. This is just going to be really interesting because that's coming next week. I've got to drive home in that. Do you want to go in that?
No.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
All right.
That's the point.
It might upset you, or it might, yeah.
Yeah, it might disappoint me.
It's the opposites, because like up to 5,000 mine's faster, but then from 5,000 onwards yours goes absolutely bloody mental, which I like. And these seats are awesome. They really are.
Comfortable.
It's nice.
I really like them. They are comfy.
Cracking car, really is. So I take back everything I said about the M3 and M4. I'm sure the M4 will be much the same if it's got a comp pack. If you're looking for one of these, get the comp pack. No question. If it doesn't have a comp pack, don't buy it. Has to have a comp pack. It's made all the difference. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Again, thanks Phil for coming. And I'll see you in a week or so with the Alpina. See you later, guys.